I've been fighting, I've been waiting, I've been bidding nonstop just to get my hands on what I think is one of the best collaborations of the year so far. The Nike Mac Attack social status. Let's talk about them. For y'all didn't know, Mac Attacks were a signature shoe made for John McEnroe. He's one of the best tennis players of all time. So, these are essentially tennis shoes. They were used by John McEnroe on the court. But the story here for social status with this specific social currency, as they like to call it, collab, it kind of has a lot of nods to kids who used to sell snacks at school, whether that be acquiring those snacks with food stamps, and you can also see like the corner store here graphic in the actual shoe box, which I think is amazing. I think this is one of the best collabs, at least for this year, between Nike and a separate brand, because they really did go all out with the box and with the presentation. We got the three specific colors. I want to say three or four. You got this sort of like maroonish red, this green, this yellow, and then I think we also have some blues here on the side. It just really is very reminiscent of boxes that you would see at like where food would come in to corner stores, deliveries would be made. You can actually feel the box. It has some of the stuff is kind of like embossed on it, so I think it's really cool. Again, I've always said that I don't care about boxes because half the time they're just gonna sit there for the rest of the time. But I think social status, specifically this collaboration, like it just works. It works that they actually put a lot of thought into the actual box and the whole presentation of it. On the side, you got this little like public telephone boxes here on the side. The front, where it went through, it has the lucky lottery signage on top. It even has a little horsey that you see on like a lot of corner stores, where you can put a couple cents in and just ride the horse. This is mostly for kids. I used to love these things when I was a kid. You got the ATM machine and you got candy machines as well. But overall, I just really like this. It's giving me bodega vibes. It's giving me corner store vibes. I just really like the presentation on this. But let's go straight into unboxing this actual shoe. Here, if y'all see it, I really recommend you go and watch the social status videos on this specific collaboration, because they go really into detail, and I think the production value of those videos is pretty high, and it's all just to tell the story of this shoe, which I think is really amazing. It kind of plays into the teaching kids entrepreneurship skills, teaches kids ways, how actual having relationships can really, put you forward in life. Social currency in a way is, socializing, networking, and having these connections with actual real people. Something, growing up, I've realized that business is 80% relationships and 20% money. Like, it's always about who you know, and who can get you right in front of the door, who can actually help you in those really hard times. But they decided to do the actual paper here for the shoes, for the shoe box, sort of like a newspaper. You get all the ads and the coupons in. I think it's super cool detail. I love this. I think it's a great really creative way of like selling the shoe, and still playing with the whole like corner store sort of thing, where people take coupons from the newspaper and bring it to their stores or local stores. They used to do it way more back in the day. I don't even think Walmart still does it, but like unfortunately the bigger retailers are kind of driving these small stores out of business. So unfortunately it is the sad reality, but this is how it was back in the day. And here we have them, the actual Mac Attacks shoes. Now, I did get these through eBay. I got these authenticated. I got these for, I want to say like $10 or $20 below retail. So I'm just very happy that I have this shoe, because I've been eyeing this shoe ever since it got announced, and I just really like it. But before we go further with the shoe, let me go and explore a little bit more into the box. And with this collaboration, they do include this sort of like a grocery bag type of deal. I think it's a really cool thing. It's a lot better than what they included for the satin breads, the bread ones. It's a lot bigger bag. You can actually put like some groceries in here. But yes, it's playing into that whole, corner store idea. You go and taking this for shopping, this little bag, and I think it's really cool. I might actually use this as my grocery bag because I do need more grocery bags. I only have one right now. But yeah, this is cool. It's kind of like this sort of I don't want to say satin, but it's kind of silky material. It has a social status logo and the Nike logo, and it says thank you for supporting your neighborhood, and then it lists some of the highlighted cities: Charlotte, Greensboro, Raleigh. A lot of these are in the Carolinas: Pittsburgh, Atlanta, Houston, Tampa, Detroit, and Baltimore. I'm imagining that's where social status stores in. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, that's kind of cool. I really do appreciate this. I'm definitely going to be using this. I'm not going to lie. I don't think I'm ever going to sell this shoe, so definitely going to use this part. But that's pretty much it. It does come with laces. It comes with 2 pairs of laces, and I think this is the coolest part because I always complain that Nike has to do way better when it comes to putting things inside the box. Those things usually, besides the presentation, has to be laces, man. I feel Nike has been chipping out with the laces, so it's amazing that this collaboration actually put some laces, and the packaging is amazing. It comes in this little cardboard little box, and it actually is, it seems like it's a candy box. It says laces, and I'm guessing those are that's bubble gum. Presentation 101. This is great. This is just tying the whole thing together, the whole presentation together. These are cream colored, I want to say. Yeah, these are sort of like cream colored laces. And for the other pair of laces, they are orange laces. I might swap them out because I really do like the orange laces on this. And the orange kind of, you don't see a lot of orange in the actual shoe. You can actually rip out this sort of satin, that's the green satin around the shoe, and it actually reveals another type of material. I'm not gonna be doing that because I just like the green. I'm a huge fan of green. That's one of the main reasons why I got this shoe. But it is a sort of like orangey, I want to say it's like a hairy suede material under the green satin. But I'm definitely not gonna be doing that. If anything, I might let it happen naturally if it ever happens. But yeah, so the actual shoes, very clean, very nice. I like the satin touches and the green parts with the swoosh, the back tab over here, and the actual color of the shoe. These are I'm not a big fan of pre-vintage stuff. I've said it before. I think that some of the reimagined, especially with like the Jordan 1s, the lost and founds, I don't like that they did the cracked leather on the collar. I think it just kind of defeats the purpose of actually wearing your shoes. They come pre-vintage, kind of like it feels a little fake, a little gimmicky. But on this one, they kind of went a little bit too far though on the actual midsole, because it seems like they used some kind of like paint. It looks stained. So I don't know. I feel like they could have also just let the actual midsole be a cell color, and that still kind of makes it look vintage without actually staining the actual rubber. But it is what it is. Probably I might be able to get rid of it with like some acetone. I'm not gonna be doing that probably, but still, it definitely makes it look way more vintage. There's also mesh panels here on the top of the shoe and on the side, the outer and the inside of the shoe. Certain parts of it are actually really smooth. Some parts of it are actually really rough, but I kind of like it. It kind of, again, plays into that whole vintage part of the actual shoe. For the outsole, we have, it kind of reminiscent of, the Air Force, the Jordan 1. Of course, this specific silhouette came out in '84, so they kind of predates both of those shoes. Sorry, it probably doesn't predate the Air Force. I'm not entirely sure, but it kind of does predate at least the Jordans. So I'm really curious if the Jordan, Nike got inspiration from this outsole, from this specific shoe. It kind of, seems like it, but it is a rubber outsole. I love rubber outsoles. I think they're kind of like a little underappreciated. I don't know. They kind of like really spice up certain shoes. So I really, really do like this shoe. But still, it definitely seems like it has a lot of traction. I can tell you that. It also has some star patterns on the edges of the outsole. It has a pattern here in the bottom of squares and both circles, and of course you got the Nike logo over where the arch of the shoe of your toe would the arch of your foot would actually be. Yeah, I mean, overall, from first impressions, I like this shoe. I think it's a really classically looking shoe. Like, you can definitely tell this is an 80s shoe through and through. I think they could have not gone with the pre-vintage. It is what it is, but still, I think it on its own, just in the silhouette, I think they could have still, you know, got away with just putting a cell midsole and calling it a day, because the pre-vintage and like the staining on the actual midsole kind of makes them look a little bit cheap. But it is what it is. It's still a very, very nice shoe. I like the satin hints on it. That's probably my favorite part, and I cannot wait to break these in. I got a 8.5 on these, which is my size, so I'm gonna put them on feet and test them out, see how they actually feel, and then I'll give you my thoughts on it. So all in all, this is a very form-fitting shoe. It's very narrow, as you can tell from the top. But all in all, I mean, it's a form-fitting shoe. So it's, you know, it's in essence, you know, supposed to hug your foot. It's very comfortable. It feels like it really secures your foot in place. And I think this would be a great walking shoe overall. I mean, it has the overall silhouette that's kind of reminiscent of Air Maxes, reminiscent of Cortezes. And you know, this is a performance shoe. This is a tennis shoe through and through, with the traction, provides great traction overall. And I love the materials on it, man. Like this sort of like really rough leather that surrounds the mesh part just is so nice. I like the mesh portions of it. I just know it's gonna be a pain in the butt to keep clean. But I like that there's a sort of like a reflective material underneath it that just kind of, you know, makes it pop a lot more. And of course, you know, the satin accents are just the best part for me. I really do appreciate that for this collaboration. Nike really did go all out, you know, by including the extra laces. I think that's amazing. I just wish that it was a lot more common for Nike to include laces in all of their releases, not just the collaborations, because it just adds so much to the shoe, you know, indirectly. And you know, I think it just gives a lot of opportunity to really, you know, grow out there. It gives the opportunity for the wearer to like really, you know, make the shoe shine in different and more creative ways. But overall, I really do think Social Status, Nike, they both kicked it out of the park, or they really, you know, they served an ace when it came to this shoe. I mean, it's an iconic silhouette. John McEnroe is a tennis legend, and I'm so glad that Nike is kind of like showcasing and giving, you know, putting some limelight on some of the older silhouettes that, you know, a lot of people probably aren't that big on. But you let me know down in the comments below what you think of the Social Status, Social Currency, Nike Mac Attack. Folks, I've been True Fernie. This has been True Fernie. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe. If you didn't like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs down, because believe it or not, every single bit helps. Links to my socials are down below. Please make sure to follow me on Threads, where I spend most of my waking hours talking about sneakers, talking about sports, mostly basketball and soccer, music, anything and everything that might interest me and might interest you as my viewer. Also, make sure to follow me on both Instagram and TikTok, where I upload more sneaker content, but more in short form, and, you know, kind of also very related to you know, what I talk on this channel specifically. Please take care of each other, but most importantly, man, take care of your shoes and yourself, of course, also. Yeah. Peace. Sorry, I'm a little sick. Yeah.